Who are you?
My name is Lalandra. I come from a world unknown to you, a world called Shi'ar.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So huge news. It sounds like Jessica Chastain is going to be playing Lalandra in Fox's X-Men Dark Phoenix movie that'll be dropping next year. They get ready to film later this year. I'll be doing a bunch more X-Men videos because there's so much Deadpool and all this stuff happening, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. But if they land her, it would be a huge get for them. Now, I know you have a lot of thoughts about who you'd like Jessica Chastain to play in a comic book movie. There's a lot of people that would love to see her in the DC universe playing somebody like Catwoman or Poison Ivy, and she is an amazing actress, which is really where I feel like comic book movies are getting so much better, is because they have really amazing female villains. Cate Blanchett playing Hela in Thor Ragnarok is like the watershed moment. Like, oh my god, we can actually get really amazing actresses, and they don't all have to be heroes. The bonus of the X-Men universe, though, is that I feel like even though there's a bunch of really cool female characters at all the studios, in the Marvel universe, cool female characters are in the X-Men universe. Like if Marvel had rights to all those Fox characters, guaranteed you would have seen that X-Men movie, then you would have seen one of those female X-Men characters join the Avengers instead of Black Widow. They've confirmed that James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence are coming back. So you have your old X-Men characters. Professor X is really the important part of that equation. You could do Dark Phoenix without Magneto and Mystique if you had to, but what they're calling it is Teen Spirit. That's the working title of the film. So surprise, surprise, the movie takes place in the early 90s, so think of it as being like Smells Like Teen Spirit, so there'll be a little bit of that energy to it. The teen aspect being brought by that original X-Men class. So you have young Cyclops, young Jean Grey that are a little bit older than they were during X-Men Apocalypse. And although they haven't confirmed what the exact story is going to be, because if you remember the 90s animated series, they basically did about, I think it was 6 or 7 episodes of that entire saga. They adapted it pretty faithfully. I mean, they had to slim it down a little bit because you have a lot of big space empires and intergalactic politics with the Kree, the Badoon, things that Marvel have that Fox doesn't have access to. So I would expect a few changes, but the basic plot is that Jean Grey goes into outer space, is possessed by the Phoenix Force. The Hellfire Club tries to manipulate her, while separately Lalandra contacts Charles Xavier and is on the run because her sister and her brother separately are trying to steal the Shi'ar throne from her using the Mercan crystal. The animated series does a great job of slimming that story down. I'll do a longer video on this, but this is actually a really good preview for it.
Why have you come here to the Earth?
Charles Xavier, let me show you. I am the sister of Tekken, the Emperor of the Shi'ar. I served my brother loyally, until I learned that he sought to control the greatest power in the universe, the ancient crystal of M'Kraan, immeasurably powerful. My brother hopes to harness the crystal's power, to use it as a weapon. My brother is mad. It is written that if the crystal is breached, both of our galaxies could be at risk. Keep the crystal from my brother, I violated its ancient sanctuary, the most sacred temple of Shi'ar. I stole the M'Kraan crystal. I escaped aboard a Star Cruiser, but my brother pursued me with the warships of the Imperial fleet. They attempted to destroy me and my ship to get the crystal. I managed to reach your solar system, but Tekken will follow me here, in time. That is why you must help me.
The comic book story took about 12 issues to tell the story, so it took place over a really long period of time. That's how complicated it got. But you basically have the Shi'ar Empire trying to get its shit together. You get into the mythology of the Phoenix Force, the Shi'ar gods, which they actually just used in the Thor comics. I'll talk about them later too. because their gods are total assholes and they're sort of like the brother and sister of the Phoenix Force. So you have this big Shi'ar coup that's going on. The X-Men have to help out with that. The Mercant crystal gets cracked, so Jean Grey has to help fix it using the Phoenix Force. Then she goes away and sort of suppresses it, but the Dark Phoenix eventually takes over. She winds up destroying an entire galaxy, so the Shi'ar Empire is after her. They want to kill her. The X-Men try to defend her, and Lilandra comes up with this measure of last resort to stop the Dark Phoenix by destroying another entire galaxy. So because Jean Grey has already caused the deaths of billions of people, she doesn't want that to happen again, so she sacrifices herself, and that's when she dies in the comics. It was a very controversial storyline in the Marvel offices when they first wrote it, and then when they killed her off, obviously fans went crazy. It's a bit of an oversimplification of a really huge comic book story. I'll do a much longer video on it at some point when we learn more about the actual movie story because it'll be different from the comics. But if you have the episodes available, it's season 3 of X-Men the Animated Series. It's pretty much like a giant block of episodes in the middle of that season. The only thing they've confirmed now is that pretty much all the X-Men are coming back from the previous movie. Lilandra will be the main antagonist, even though technically she's not an antagonist. And that means that you'll get into the Shi'ar Empire. But because it's only a 2-hour movie, you can't do this entire story in 2 hours. So clearly, this is going to be setting up whatever the next movie after it's going to be. But depending on what the box office is like and how much money it earns, I think that'll alter their plans a little bit. But I think it's really good that they're pushing into galactic territory, the Shi'ar Empire. That could be their Guardians of the Galaxy. They have the Starjammers. So it just opens a lot of galactic doors at the Fox X-Men universe because you have Deadpool blowing up, you have X-Force coming out of that, you have New Mutants, you have all this Earth-based stuff, but there's all these space-based characters that they have access to that they haven't tried yet. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about Jessica Chastain playing one of the biggest galactic characters in the Marvel Universe? It'll be at Fox, but maybe once they get all this going, maybe they can arrange with Marvel for a big crossover Avengers-style movie where you put the X-Men and the Avengers together in a War of Kings situation where you have a big galactic conflict where they get to cross over. So you have Shi'ar Empire stuff happening, you have Guardians of the Galaxy. You don't even have to involve the Earth-based characters. You could just do a Guardians crossover with the Shi'ar down the road. But what'll happen next is they just confirmed that Danny Elfman is going to be doing the score for Justice League, so I'll do a video for that. Remember, he did the score for the Flash TV show, Batman, the 1989 movie, which they also used for the animated series, and the iconic Spider-Man theme from the Tobey Maguire films. So congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Frederick Cotton. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. While you wait for everything, you can click here to learn all about Infinity War, Hulk, Black Panther crossover, and you can click here for brand new Flash. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.